We come now to item 12, and I'll ask Warwick McNaughton, and I don't know whether Rose is going to be with you. You're doing it by yourself. Just a thought on this one, councillors. This is not a normal AGM come conference because of the interruption with COVID-19. This is 4 hours basically to consider a handful of remits and to vote in a new president and vice president. We are dealing with the situation of the COVID-19 budget, and it seems to me to send 4 delegates to Wellington for 4 hours. I wish they'd put it on Zoom. That would have been great. On Skype, yep. That would be good, but apparently that decision hasn't been taken yet, Warwick.
That's good.
But what I'm going to foreshadow to you, but I'll let Warwick introduce it first, is that we appoint up to 2 delegates, not up to 4. I just think, frankly, 4 hours to pay 4 airfares and have 4 councillors take their time up is probably more than we need given the circumstances of this conference. So up to could mean 1. We have to have at least 1. But before I move that way, I just want to get Warwick to introduce it and then just hear a couple of comments, and then I just foreshadow that I will adopt up to 2 into that unless there's grave objection around the table. So, Warwick.
Thank you, Your Worship and councillors. Attendance at the LGNZ conference and AGM crops up every year, so this is not new to us. And the point that the Mayor made, that this is just the AGM itself, was a point I was going to make as well. I should say that the reason, as the author of the report, that we recommended up to 4 is simply reflects that's the legal number under the Constitution that you're permitted to have as Auckland Council, that's all. And that's really, I think I'll leave that there, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Councillor Linda Cooper.
Question. So normally local boards go, but seeing this is just an AGM,
Yes.
is that what, I mean, it's why I just support the Mayor and maybe Councillor Coombe as our GNZ rep as well to go. I absolutely support 2 people. I just think it's ridiculous. It's only an AGM, and I would urge whoever makes the reports for local boards that they don't need to go this year. It's a terrible waste of money to send a whole bunch of people down for an AGM.
Thank you. Concur with that view. Councillor Desley Simpson.
Question, Warwick. Is there any reason why we haven't got a recommendation up there that we request that the meeting is on Zoom?
That's entirely possible.
Right, Your Worship, I would suggest, I'm not going to put an amendment up, but I just suggest, in fact, no one's moved it anyway.
Let's put
happy to move
something
it.
in. I'm happy. Phil Wilson's here. Phil's a gun at coming up with a recommendation in 3 minutes flat, but it could be just like encourage Local Government New Zealand to hold the conference by Zoom or Skype.
Yes.
If that will do it, we'll put that in, and it'll be accepted by the. If I'm going to be the mover. Any Councillor Casey, and then Councillor Cook.
I think it should just be the Mayor. I think we just go for broke. Just you.
Okay. Thank you. Up to 2 enables us to make that judgment. It might not be me. It might be Pippa, or it might be Bill. Okay. Councillor Coombe.
Can I thank you? I just had a question for Warwick. I don't think it's in the report, but we are sure that we can have all of our votes, even if it doesn't matter how many delegates we have voting, we don't forfeit any
That's
votes.
correct.
And I just ask that because I know in the scheme of things, this AGM is not a big deal, but for local board world, electing a new president that only happens every 3 years is quite a big deal, and so I wouldn't want us to miss out on that vote. And the other, so if I could just ask the other question I had too at the same time is just, actually no, you answered that because I did just have then a further question.
So just clarify that. My understanding is 1 person can exercise the vote, Warwick.
Yes, it's actually the Auckland Council that's attending, that is the member. And the 4 people, 2 people, 3 people are just the representatives, the delegates of Auckland Council. But the votes are attached to Auckland Council.
Thank you. So that was pretty much my assumption, Pippa, but
Yeah.
good to clarify that.
And perhaps, and this is more of a question to you, Mr Mayor, around, and councillors, that I think keeping the flexibility of saying up to 2 means that if, for example, Councillor Filipaina might be in Wellington for a Te Maraeata meeting, I might be there for National Council meeting, which means it's at no expense to Auckland Council, in which case it would make sense that I'm able to attend, but we can nearer the time make that decision. And the same with, there might be different makeup of who could actually be there on the day.
That's a very good point, and I think that if we have to have somebody there for a national council or other responsibility, then that person or those persons, that would make sense. So I will move and ask Councillor Simpson to second, as the person that holds the purse strings around here. So I've just invited if there's any other comment or question. Oh, I have one other comment. You'll see on page 87 the 2 nominees for President and for Vice President. Could I just invite publicly any councillor that has a preference between those people, just to either advise me or to advise Warwick, so that we can get a sense. I don't want to have a long debate around the table now. So we get whoever's representing this council down there, get some guidance of the opinion around the table as to which candidate you would prefer for each of those positions. So if there's no further comment at this stage or question, I'll just simply put that recommendation as amended to up to 2 delegates and encourage Local Government New Zealand to hold the meeting by electronic means, in which case we could all attend. All those in favour, please say aye. To the contrary, no. Declare that carried.